anniversary season of the Toyota 86 Championship in New Zealand, and this is the first of 6 rounds in 2023. Reigning champion Rowan Shepherd has hung up the helmet this year and taken a role of DSO.
So here at the moment in not a race tent, but we're hanging out here with Rowan Shepherd, not in a race suit this year. Please explain what's your role this weekend and a bit of a change to what you're used to.
Yeah, so first time being into the DSO role. To be honest, I was going to take a bit of time off this year just due to a career change in the real estate, and thought that I would just, take it easy this year. But I think I would have not really enjoyed having the time away from the racetrack too much. So hey, this keeps me involved with motorsport one way or another, and it's a good way to educate some new drivers coming through as well.
So being DSO, obviously it's an important role, one that you got to make sure you get right all the time. And what are some of the things that you're telling the drivers to make sure that they're behaving themselves out on track?
Yeah, so we're just trying to keep the rule book really clear and educating those drivers prior to the race meetings. And then if there are inquiries, we're basically pulling up all the race data and videos from the car itself, and then getting the drivers to explain their side of the story. And then making a decision from there. So basically our role is to keep things consistent and fair for both parties throughout the whole season.
And also the education side of it, as you're talking about as well. Obviously DSO isn't just about telling people off the whole time, it's the education side. You obviously enjoy that side too? Yeah,
I think it's important. I think we're oozing with talent here in New Zealand, and if we can set them up correctly here and be fairly stern, I think it will go a long way when they can go overseas. So I think that's probably the most important part of the role.
Awesome. Appreciate the chat. Thanks, Ron. Good luck for the weekend and hope everyone behaves out there for you.
Now, before we go racing, let's check out Highlands Circuit with Andrew Waite.
Highlands Motorsport Park, 4.1 kilometre track broken down into 3 sectors. Lap record here is a 1 minute 28.9 set by Liam Lawson. With 22 corners, this track Highlands here is super fast, flowing, with high consequence if you get it wrong. But I tell you what, it's rewarding when you get it right.
As they come out on track, it's never easy, but let me get to the grid first of all. Brock Gilchrist in pole position, Osborne in 2nd place, then Bewley, the youngster, in 3rd, and Justin Allen, who we heard from, in 4th on the 2nd row. 5th and 6th, then Exton then in 6th position. We've got a space on 5th at the moment. We'll get back to that. And John Penny it was, and then 9th and 10th, Pitt and All West. Then comes Gray and Townsend, some of the youngsters coming through. They are 11th and 12th. And then Sheehan, another one of the youngsters, Morton. So we've got quite a lot of guys who are trying this for the first time out, including Hodson and Mallard, son of Mark Mallard, of course. And then Leach and Cottrell in 17th and 18th. A good field as always. Here we go then, the seconds ticking down. On come the lights. We're about to start the 2023 Toyota 86 Championship. And away they go, and a good start by Osborne.
Clay Osborne getting a great start there. Is he going to make it into turn 1? It's only 1 car wide down into here. Who's going to give him first?
It's nip and tuck, they're side by side. Somehow, just a brilliant bravery there. And now car's going sideways and off track for a moment. Braking, unfortunately, a heavy place. Luckily, they didn't hit Bruce Jenkins right there in the corner, but right where he needs to be. But ITM, they'll be right one day when that car is fixed. But we've got 3 cars in the barrier. Nasty incident at the bus stop, and we said it all. You've got to be brave, and that's exactly what Brock Gilchrist was. He kept his foot in and kept the lead, but I'm sure that's going to be, if not a red flag, a long safety.
Yeah, I think so. That was really unfortunate, especially for Saxon Sheehan there. He just arrived on the scene with absolutely nowhere to go. So it'd be interesting to see a replay and see where this all started from. But yeah, I'm sure we're going to see a red flag here.
And the youngster is A-OK. Andrew, I'm going to let you have a look at this and see what you see.
So just by the looks of it, he's just sort of lost control all by himself, a little bit wide there. And from there on, that's where it becomes a problem, because he should be on the brakes there, but not quite. And bang, Saxon's just absolutely nowhere to go. Yeah, I think you're right. Just one of those things we didn't get a chance to see what happened earlier, but it just got a little bit wide. And yeah, what a shame.
Let's head down to Rusty in the pits. What's the latest, Rusty?
JG, thank you. I'm conscious that Chris is trying to listen to the radio here as well. So you're obviously assisting Harry Townsend here. How is he and what's he had to say?
Yeah, he's had a bit of a whoopsie there with Christina. We're not sure yet what happened because of all the dust. So we're kind of looking and haven't found out. But he's in the wall there, so the car looks a bit damaged. So hopefully it's not too bad. I think he's all right. So that's the main thing.
As we take a look at the start again, though, I want to talk about what you see at the start here. Obviously, Brock doesn't get as good a start as Osborne.
Yeah.
He's got the lead here, but then watch him bring it back.
Yeah, at this point here, I sort of thought that Clay had the edge, but this part
he had the urge too.
He had the urge as well. That part there, how they both arrived at that first right-hander together, as we can see the next part there, just unfortunately for Harry, there's nowhere to go, and Saxon right down the middle. It's real unfortunate. Nothing at all that Saxon could do. So we watch again. He's just a little bit wide. Out on the dirt, cold tyres, first season in the car for him. It looks like he's just lost it all on his own there.
As we get ready to restart this, we got half a lap in, not even that, to start the season. And now, once again, Brock Gilchrist, as we look at the sad side, sadly, of the 73 of Harry Townsend, that car going nowhere. But I'd say they'll get it back for tomorrow, don't you?
Yeah, I'd like to think so, though. It was pretty damaged and quite a structural part of the car there. So we'll keep an eye out and we'll keep everyone updated that fingers crossed they get back into it. But we can see Brock Gilchrist there hoping to get a better start this time. Didn't quite get it. Let's see what happens.
Here we go then. A restart. And away they go. On the left-hand side, Brock Gilchrist gets a much better start. Justin Allen in the Napa car, number 99, also gets alongside Osborne and may vie for second place here. But Gilchrist is off and running and leads this race. Justin Allen challenging for second place. They're side by side as they come through the bus stop. They almost touch. A wheel in the air. But Justin Allen settles for third place and everybody clinging through despite some going on the grass. And we're now down into the forest for the first time properly. And it is Brock Gilchrist leading the way here in New Zealand.
Huge moment for Justin as he entered the bus stop there. Just managed to pull the car back together. But he'll be happy with that start for sure.
That was a much better start. He'll be breathing a sigh of relief after that because he didn't get the best of start. Osborne, though, did well. And already everybody starting to look for position as the field starts to spread out under the bridge and into the carousel for the first time.
And Brock Gilchrist there, he just needs to get his head down. He's very experienced in the category, so he knows exactly what he needs to do here. But we also know Clay is getting more and more experience. It's his second season now. He was fast here last year for his first ever race, so he will be putting the pressure on. And then also Justin, he was fast yesterday. He was quickest in 2 of the 3 practices and only P2 in the other one, so we know he's got speed.
Well, this is a good battle for 4th and 5th. John Petty, the master, one of the older drivers in the championship, pushing hard on the young 15-year-old who doesn't even have a driver's license, but he's holding on to 4th place. And that, of course, is Tom Booley, the car expert and champion from New Zealand, trying tin tops for the first time, bouncing over the curves, over the bridge they come then. And into the left-hander, 2 corners to go. Brock Gilchrist clean and away now, but it's going to be close. Lights on for Justin Allen, trying to do a bit of intimidation.
The car sings with these, especially with these tyres that they're running, the Nixon tyres. One of the better times that they're working is about halfway through the race, about 3 or 4 laps. So we can see Ryland Gray there. He's having a good first race out there.
Yeah, Ryland Gray, one of the newcomers, will be focusing and taking a closer look at each and every one of the new drivers in the championship. And remember, for most of these youngsters, it is their first time, certainly at this level and at an international level and a professional level like this. Ryland Gray, of course, just 15 years of age from Denman in New South Wales.
So just a little note there, we saw that John Penny had a bit of a lock-up. These cars have ABS, so John Penny's obviously struggling with an ABS fault here. So that's something that's going to be hindering him quite a bit. If you watch him under brakes here, he'll end up braking just a little bit earlier, but he's doing a great job hanging on because these cars, you shouldn't see lock-up smoke like that. So there's clearly an issue that John Penny's carrying there. As they come down, you can see Clay just getting that a little bit closer, but there's no more passing opportunities from here. One more corner for Brock here.
And here he comes. Mac Racing Engineering, and it is going to be Brock Gilchrist who flashes the lights and takes victory ahead of Osborne in second, Allen in third. Great racing once again from the 86 Championship, and we are underway for the season. And it is Brock Gilchrist in his 4th season who takes the first victory for the 86 Championship in the number 10 Nixon tyre car. Well done, mate. So, a great way to start this. We had a little bit of a drama at the start of the race with a 3 car crash, but in the end, the IMAC racing team of Gilchrist, Brock Gilchrist, wins in the number 10. Osborne is second, and Justin Allen, IMS International Motorsport team, in third. Then Bewley, Exton, Bryant or West in 7th place. Dion Pitt in 8th. He got a good battle with Gray and Osborne as well for Osborne Motorsport in 10th position.
Brock, congratulations. First race, first win.
Oh, you know, obviously continuing the form from our Pukekohe Supercars round, it feels great, you know, to win the first race. It's definitely a hot one out there, and after getting our first pole, it feels great. I couldn't be happier.
I had a chat to Clay before, and you said season 1 was pretty average. Season 2, wow, P2.
Yeah, it feels really good. You know, we had some pace in practice yesterday, but we just worked on a few things and a few tweaks, and brought it to qualifying today. Yeah.
I'm Dion Pitt, 24 years old, from Auckland. Yeah, I'm a truck driver, so definitely on those long journeys when I'm driving, racing runs through my brain a lot, and I'm thinking a lot about the season, and you know, but it also gives me good time to reflect on, like, say, last season and stuff, and what I can do to improve myself, because you always want to better yourself. My progress last season was pretty good. We started off really well. I'm looking for more this season for sure. I feel like I've improved in terms of focus and just ability to interpret the data and kind of put it all together on track, you know, the intellectual side of racing as well as the physical side of the actual driving. So maybe in the sense of just maturity, I don't know. Justin Allen's definitely probably my number 1 goal to beat. But I mean, there's plenty of other kids that are coming in that are fast from other disciplines of motorsport too. So they'll keep me on my toes for sure. So my sponsors this year is Ultra Interiors has come back on. Golden Homes has jumped on with me. So to have that sort of backing from those companies is just awesome. Awesome that they believe in me, that I can go somewhere with my racing. I'd rate Highlands are very difficult. It's many corners, all very different corners too. None of them are really the same. So it's definitely, for the first round, it's a very hard track for a lot of the new guys to come in and race on. It's a very enjoyable track. It's one of my favourite tracks in New Zealand for sure. Like, yeah, I think it's a good start. It really shows everyone like who's going to be quick or not really throughout the season. Well, we all want to win the title, that's for sure, and that's what I'm going for. But you know, I wouldn't be unhappy with the top 3. But ultimate success is why I'm here.
Hi, I'm Justin Allen. I come from the Manual 2 and I drive the number 99 Napa Auto Pass 86, and I've got the best looking 86 out there. With being my 5th season, obviously it's we got to kind of do well now. We're sort of the experienced one in the field. We had a real good 4th season. Obviously everybody knows how well we did last year. You know, podiums, wins, you know, fighting for that title pretty much all the way to the end. So aim is to obviously, you know, be up the front, be in that top 3. Consistency is obviously going to be key yet again. Unfortunately, that's what lacked us last season. So definitely top 3, try and go for that podium for the season, and if we can, try and win this year, that would certainly be the bonus. I think the light switch got flicked on literally round 1, practice 1 on that Thursday down at Highlands. Myself with Hugo, obviously as teammate in the Harder Racing 86 as well, like we were just on it, you know, right from the off, and it was great to have him to sort of help me actually build up a bit of momentum straight away, and I just sort of carried that on. Being a track that I'd been to before and a lot of others hadn't probably also helped a little bit, but we just had an awesome car, awesome team behind us as well with International Motorsport, and obviously yet again with them this year. That first real win at Puki in race 1 certainly just gave me so much confidence in myself that, hey, look, I can win. I can be the best out there. I can beat, you know, the Ryan Shepherds and the Simon Evans on their best day.
Shepherd hasn't got the drive, and through goes Justin Allen into the lead again, at exactly the same spot he did it before. Last time, Rowan Shepherd had more drive coming into this corner, but he's not going to do it this time. And yes, nicely done by the Napa Motorsports number 99 in International Motorsport. And Justin Allen takes the lead of this race and gets ahead of Rowan Shepherd.
And that certainly gave me confidence. Hey, look, I can actually drive one of these cars after all this time. I've proven to myself, my family, my sponsors, everybody, hey, I'm here to win. I'm here to try and beat everyone. And so having that certainly has given me hopefully a little bit extra momentum going into this year. Look, I think I will be one of the favourites, I think, this year. So it doesn't give me any extra burden on my shoulders that I am. Definitely going to take it with a grain of salt and just go hard right from round 1 down there in Highlands and see where we end up after 6 rounds.
Let's take a look at the grid for the race. Coming up, be patient is a very, very good point, and it is. Osborne on pole position at Gray, so we've got some youngsters at the front. Then there's Pitt in 3rd, or West for ITM in 4th position. Bryant and Exton 5th and 6th. And then we see the top 3 from yesterday. Bewley, Allen, Osborne. Gilchrist will start 10th. So there you see the man who won it last week, yesterday, will start from 10th position. Then it's Hodson, Mallard, Leach, Cottrell, Townsend and Sheehan at 18th position. So a lot of work to do. Great to see Townsend for Bayswater Motorsport back on track. And likewise Saxon as well. On go the lights. Out go the lights, and away we go. Good start from Allen in the middle. Side by side. It's a drag race to the Repco bus stop.
Good start for Finn. Is he going to be able to hang up on the inside? Side by side into the bus stop. Only room for 1.
Great stuff. Well done to Ryland Gray there, getting through, holding on, and taking the lead away from the pole man. Allen on the outside. He got a good start, but now he's going to have to be careful. There he is in that Napa number 99. Getting a little bit of bulk. Somebody just hitting the grass for a second, throwing up the dust. But it is Gray who leads the way in the 21 as they come through. The S's for the first time. The 6th S's.
Justin Allen, what a great start for him. He's managed to just hold off Brock Gilchrist, and behind him is a side-by-side heading down into the carousel.
Into the TGR carousel they go, and that's where the damage, or the oil was down on the track, but it hasn't affected anybody so far. And as you can see from high above, the field already spreading out as they head down towards the hairpin for the first time.
Lucky with that oil, it's just off race line, so it doesn't affect the drivers too much.
Nice clean start, and a really, really good start there from Osborne. And now we start to see them really starting to go panel to panel, and that's the beauty of this racing. You can literally do a whole lap side by side.
You can, and it just creates that great racing camaraderie, as we can see as we head down into the bridge areas. A side by side Tom Bewley with Taylor Bryan there. Tom just manages to sneak through as they come up over the bridge. What a shot.
That is fantastic, isn't it? And into the left-hander, and then down towards reverse Indy. Watching on the sidelines, and somewhat pensive, somewhat nervous in the early stages of this. Everybody licking their lips and looking out high and wide. But look at this battle already as they come towards the line. Under pressure, the 21 and the 14 going for it here. But Gray doing a very good job, almost touching the wall in that green and white leading car. But it's Gray heading down to the bus stop. Pitt doing the fastest lap of the first lap, 2 minutes and 3, and obviously that will drop down drastically when they get up to speed. Through the bus stop they come. Wonderful sight.
And you can see Finn does have a fair bit of pace there. He's putting a lot of pressure on Gray. As you see him holding tight around the whole way through the big long loop.
Andrew, let me ask you this. With these cars, these tyres, is there an optimal time to push?
With these tyres, they're a different sort of style of tyres. It takes a little while to get your head around them. They seem to be able to come on and stay on, which is a good thing because it creates good racing. You don't have to focus so much about holding back, managing the tyre to get it through a race as you see in some other categories. And here, they seem to come on and then they hold quite nicely throughout the race. So it's a really good way to generate fantastic racing.
Important race for two very different drivers. All West with all her experience in 4th at the moment. And young Tom Bewley in 5th position, starting out his campaign, but a good result from this race too will set him up nicely for the feature race.
Absolutely, and with Tom there, it's a really good start for him, showing real maturity for his first season. He's sitting there, he's obviously got the reverse grid race. The nerves are higher for the reverse grid race because when you qualify up the front, you've got room to move. You know you're around guys that you've been around before, but this time when you're starting in the middle of the pack, it completely changes the dynamic.
And we'll keep an eye on both Gilchrist, who's up to 8th, and Allen, who's 7th. Of course, they were the fastest men yesterday on the podium. Can they make their way through? And I think, as you say, patience is the key. Oh, no! Just what they didn't want, and round goes the leader. The Australian gets turned around by Osborne. Anybody at fault?
Hard to see that one there. We're going to have to hopefully see a replay there to see what's going on. But, yeah, had to dive up the inside. Maybe we'll hopefully get another angle of it and see who's at fault there. But Rowan Shepherd up in the control tower will be having to have a look at this one.
Yeah, no kidding. And, of course, Rowan Shepherd doing that different role. He was racing in the championship last year. Now he's making sure that these guys behave. Pitt takes the lead then from Osborne. All West up to 3rd. Bewley now 4th. We were just talking about him. This is perfect for him. Bryant drops to 5th. But luckily, the Castrol car, the 21 of Ryland Gray, is at least still there. There he is.
Yeah, of course. He's unfortunately gone a bit further down. Let's have a look at a replay, see what's happened here. Very, very late dive there by Finn. Up the inside, getting the rear of the car. I think, unfortunately, we might be seeing a penalty coming Finn's way.
What kind of penalty would it be? Time penalty or...?
It'll be a time penalty. If Rowan's had a couple of looks at this throughout the race, you should be able to see that he'll end up with a time penalty.
Race radio. Incident between car 14 and car 21.
Obviously, the stewards.
Under investigation.
Yeah, there you go. Confirmation. Under investigation, not a surprise. How would you call it if you were having to judge it?
If you're having to judge it, I think with the way that the rules are set out in the championship here, you need overlap at the point of braking. So you can see a big move up the inside there from Tom.
West under pressure, losing out. They're side by side. Wonderful shots here for the battle for 3rd. And look at them all lining up. All West going for the bridge. Can she hold on? She'll be right, as ITM would say. But here comes the 4. Bewley does it. Nice stuff by a 15-year-old. That's good racecraft.
Great driving by both drivers here. You could see Christina playing the long game as well. She's not getting caught up in one corner as it's just going to make it harder for you in the long run. So she knows Tom's fast. You're better to just tuck in behind and get on with your race.
And the last couple of corners are pretty good for the 99. Justin Allen making his way through too, using that battle. John Penny in the 22 had problems yesterday with ABS, but he's back out and running well. But All West now under pressure. Gilchrist all over the back of Allen. So we've got a great midfield battle. Here it comes. Yesterday's winner, Gilchrist, trying to get past Justin Allen as they head to the bus stop.
And this is what makes it hard as well, because as a group, you're trying to go forward. But when you're surrounded by other guys who are just as quick, you've got to manage the pace with that person, but then you're also trying to make passes. You're trying to force cars a little bit wider. So you've got to think forwards, and you've also got to think backwards about what's happening at the same time.
So Ryland Gray, who led this race early on, has dropped back after that incident, and now it's this man, Pitt, who leads the way in the 5, Osborne 2nd, Bewley up to 3rd after an excellent pass on All West. Allen and Gilchrist going at it. Bryant, Penny, Osborne and Exton rounding out the top 10.
Interesting to note as well, Clay Osborne struggling a little bit there. He started on grid 9, and he's still not, as he takes a dive up the inside of John Penny.
Ooh, that was a little close. Penny had to give in and did so. Doesn't want to do it again for a second time. Exton trying to hold him off, so Penny's in a real battle.
He is, and this is a very, very fast part of the track to be side by side. Will Exton be able to hold it up the inside? Very quick through there, a little bit wide there for John into the slippery part of the track. Great driving by both drivers.
Justin Allen past All West, and Gilchrist now stuck behind All West. He jinks out to try and get past Christina as they head down to the bridge. He can't do it this time though, and Justin Allen will like to try to build on that because he wants to get away from his closest opponent at the moment, Brock Gilchrist.
You can see the battles within battles, that mid-pack there from 4th onwards. They're all very, very close. Christina all well in there as well.
Great overtaking so far, and still a lot of this race still to come. How does the car change in feel as the race goes on?
Just the tyres, as they start going off a little bit more. I know I said earlier that they don't change a lot, they don't, but certainly they still get hot, and that's when the car starts moving around a little bit more. But you just got to keep reminding yourself, it's not just happening to you, it's happening to other cars around you. So it's how you manage that situation.
The dairy farmer, all west, not giving an inch, but Gilchrist finally makes it through under pace at the bus stop, and now we'll go in pursuit of Justin Allen. There he is. Gilchrist is through on the ITM car, but it's still Pitt, and he's now got himself almost a second away from Osborne. Bewley's still third and trying to close in, but this is good racing from Pitt. Meanwhile, we'll go back to Bewley, and you can see how close he is to Osborne, and he is... Where would you make your move if you were in third where Bewley is?
At this point, it's the hardest part is trying to find where you have the advantage over Finn. He's got the fastest lap of the race at this point, so we know he's
got multiple fastest laps.
Multiple fastest laps, and the team will be telling them, mate, you're fast, just be patient, make your move. The guys that are quicker behind you aren't sticking with you. So it's at this point, you just got to weigh up, okay, where am I quick? How good is Finn under brakes into here? I'm going to show my nose here, I've got room. Look at that, what a move.
Well,
big move up the inside there.
That was textbook, wasn't it? Textbook Highlands. That's exactly what you want. No question about it. I'll tell you what, talking of interesting moves, I've got a feeling, well, I even almost know that Gilchrist is going to make a move, and it might be now on Allen, and that is superb. Over the bridge, got good drive going up, good drive going over, and that is the way to get on the podium. Allen, though, is not done as they come to reverse Indy. Almost side by side.
Yeah, great drive in there. Allen trying to force Gilchrist nice and narrow out of there so he doesn't get as good a run. And what Justin was trying to do there was trying to close him up so then he could be up the inside to here. But unfortunately, Brock would have known that's exactly what the plan was. And great driving by both drivers.
Yeah, Justin Allen's going to be kicking himself because the best result I think you can get from a reverse grid, or hope anyway, is to be on the podium, and that's where Gilchrist is. Allen, though, not letting up in these closing stages. 2 to go. The gap less than a second now between Pitt and Bewley. This is on, my friend.
That's that 1 second gap that I was talking about. It's really closing up now with 2 laps to go. Can he close him down? Can he make a move?
0.8 now, the gap, and you can see it physically for yourself. Bewley is pushing on in the closing stages, but where would you make that move?
It's so hard, and that's where the experience from Tom's karting, he knows it's not new to him catching a car in front. He will be watching, where is Dion struggling compared to me? Where have I got the edge on him? And he's just going to keep working on that, knowing, right, okay, I'm going to have 1 lap to go. This lap will be another catch lap. Next lap, I'm going to find my point and make the move there.
And almost tactically, you don't really want to make the move on this lap because then you're sitting dog, as it were, for the next lap, the final
the one,
lap.
but he's going up the inside. Is he going to make the move happen?
Go on! Oh, side by side now. No, not quite, and that's great racing from Pitt. Well, Pitt said he was lining himself up for a big season, and now with this youngster right behind him, what a battle this has turned out to be in race 2.
It is, and we can see Dion up over the curb, making sure he doesn't exceed track limits with that beautiful
great drive
shot.
from Bewley. You saw the car bounce into the air for a moment. He got great drive there. And again, he's winding himself up for another attack. Look to the outside. Now he stays in line. Good drive out of here is key. If he can get the good drive here, yes, he has, can make it to the bus stop before his opponent. They're side by side as they come to start the last lap. But it's Bewley who takes the lead.
What a move up the inside. I did not expect the move to happen there. We obviously got a great drive. Rez, he's managed to look after him that a little bit more. Wow.
No surprise. A 1:53.7. Bewley is both the fastest man and the leader of this race on the final lap. He is mature beyond his 15 years, and that is a great piece of racecraft.
That is just fantastic. For a young guy coming straight into the series and driving with the maturity that he has to get into the lead of the race, he is just on fire. I think we're going to see some big things this season from him.
This championship has always been about making young racers into professional racing drivers. We've seen it with Callum Hedge, Vodanovic, you name it, Natoa. Everybody has come through here, and we see these guys, and you can almost predict that Bewley, with his karting experience and now what he's already doing in the first weekend of 86, are we going to see this guy in TRS?
Oh, wouldn't that be awesome to see him in TRS? And we can see him coming down into the last corner. It's not over yet, just because he's made the move, but the gap is growing just a little bit more. Is he going to try and cover himself just a little bit?
Oh, he does, yeah, he gets into the middle, doesn't he? Oh, last chance then for Dion Pitt. Can he going to be nip and tuck. Here we go. Run to the line, Earl Bamber. If you're watching, we're sending another one to you. His name, Bewley, Tom Bewley. Over the bridge for the final time. Car goes light, hard on the anchors. Last chance for Dion.
See what I mean?
Looks at the inside, can he nudge him out? Side by side. Bewley's got to keep his foot in. Oh, the advantage at the moment with Pitt. But that goes it to Bewley. It's side-by-side racing towards the line. Bewley holds it. Bewley's going to win his first ever 86 race in his first season, and it's going to be side-by-side as they take the checkered flag, but it is Bewley who takes it in style. What a way to start your Sunday. Tom Bewley, fastest man out there, and there is the smile that says it all. Confirmation then of what was a sensational run in race 2 for Mackenzie Motorsport and Tom Bewley. Pitt second for Race Lab. Gilchrist now very impressive, a race win and a podium there for third place. Then Alan Allwest, the two Osborne brothers 6th and 7th, and then Brian 8th, Penny in 9th position, and Gray, who had led this race, finishing out the top 10 for Action Motorsport. And well done to Rylan Gray from Australia, because it's never easy when you get turned around like that.
First race win in a Toyota 86. Man, Mr. Bewley, how good does that feel?
Oh, I'm absolutely stoked. You know, I knew I had it. Talked to Murphy for the race, and he just said pick them off before in the first lap, and that's what I did, and just chased down Dion and got the job done.
Perfect day to get out the seat, get out your umbrella, and get ready. Andrew Davis, the head of Toyota here, giving out the prizes for the podium. Well done to Brock Gilchrist as well. That is just setting up, he said it in the interview, setting him up nicely. A win and a podium from the reverse grid. You can't ask for more than that, because it's always hard when you have to start from 10th position. How about this young man? You can see that smile says it all.
Hi, my name's Sam Cottrell, driving the 86 series this year, number 6. You can't miss it, it's the bright orange delete car. Well, since the end of last season, it's been a bit of a nice break, to be honest, after the season. I was like, oh, geez, it's over, but we've had a few test days, ran in the 2 of the North Island endurance rounds, shared the drive with Justin Allen, which was really cool, just good seat time, and that was a fun series to be a part of. My expectations, I suppose, is just hopefully keep going better and better. Last year was a pretty steep learning curve, going from no experience to doing a full season. So just keep learning, keep growing, and keep enjoying it, and yeah, hopefully go a bit better. We did a wet race last year at Ruapuna, I think, and it was. And to be honest, I was bricking myself. Oh, can I say? I was quite scared of that one. I was off the back and thought it was belting down. I thought, oh, what I'll do at the start, I'll just go nice and gently and just drive away, and I'll work it out from there. So I did that when the lights went out, but the 4 cars in front of me just lit up completely. And so I shot up the middle, and then suddenly we were going 4 wide into turn 1. I was like, this is not what I wanted. No, it's different. You got to keep your wits about you and just stay calm and drive around. It was a new experience for sure. So, last year the field was, I think, kind of split up into 3 segments. You had the front runners, that middle pack, and then some guys further down the back, and I think I'd like to move up into that mid-range and start really racing up there, which would be pretty cool for me. So there's not too many guys that are scared of rubbing a door or two. I think rubbing is racing should be the unofficial motto of the series.
Out goes Sam Cottrell. The delete car has been deleted from the race, at least.
Yeah, well, I know where that wall is, so I'll miss that, which will be good. Excited to get back there. Actually, it's a cool track to drive around. It's really cool. And just last lap of the last race, made a mistake and ruined the weekend. So it'd be cool to actually finish the weekend off properly and rectify that. And like I said, it's a great place to drive. So I'm pretty excited to get back there. Yeah, you got to enjoy what you're doing. Otherwise, you're not going to want to turn up and have a crack. If you're not enjoying it, what's the point?
Hello and a warm welcome to coverage of the Toyota 86 Championship from Cromwell, Highlands Motorsport Park, part of the Super Sprint Motorsport New Zealand Championship. Gilchrist and Bewley, the two winners so far, start on the front row. Allen and Osborne, 3rd and 4th. Then Pitt and All West are 5th and 6th. Bryant and Exton, 7th and 8th. Then Gray, the young Australian, in 9th position. John Penny, 10th. And then Osborne and Morton, 11th and 12th. Hodson, Leach, 13th and 14th. Mallard, 15th. Cottrell in 16th. And then Townsend, very lucky, the Bayswater Motorsport man, getting a new car after a big smash yesterday. Likewise, Sheehan on the grid for this, the 3rd race of the day. The key to this feature race will be the run to the Repco bus stop, and who makes it first. Out go the lights, away we go. And Bewley gets away well. He may have the run here. They're side by side. Bewley's right there with the pole man. And Gilchrist will keep his foot in, but who is the bravest? Heading towards the bus stop. Oh, nip and tuck. Gilchrist has got it, though. Nicely done.
Great start by Clay Osborne there as well, sliding into 3rd place. And then Christina, huge start from 6th position up into 4th.
Yeah, that's a great start for Christina All West. Looking, as I said, to get out of the top 6 and into the top 5 before the end of the weekend. This is the feature race then, as they head out of the Southern Loop and into the S's for the first time.
As we can see there, Brock making a great start. He'll already be looking in the mirror, playing out the race, and we know Tom as well. He's got so much confidence after his performance in the first race that he'll be playing on that here.
Into the TGR carousel for the first time. And a beautiful shot from above, showing how they're already quickly spreading out here. What a backdrop to see a motor race. It's absolutely scintillating, isn't it?
Yeah, you forget it's real, isn't it? Just like how beautiful it is. Into the trees, even though nice in uniform as well. And under the brakes, the track has got some character in it as well. A little bit bumpy in places, which drivers love as well.
Yes,
all important run onto the straight out of the hairpin here. It's so important to get a good run out onto the straight before you hit the bridge.
And you get a sense of the speed here from above as well as they head down towards the bridge, one of the trickiest parts of this circuit, because it's a left and then a quick right over the bridge. The car gets light and, as you can see, moves around underneath you, and then you're hard on the anchors again to go into the left-hander. And very, very important to get right that complex as you head down to reverse Indy.
Yeah, it really is. And even just down into here, you don't realise how blind it actually is as you drop down into what was named through Highlands as Jet Hump. It's quite a drop, so even that is hard to get right, let alone the bridge elevation too.
Over Toyota exit then to complete the lap, and Brock Gilchrist in the 10, as we've seen so many times before in the 86 Championship. He's been around for the last few seasons as Brock Gilchrist, and he's just impressed bit by bit. He started slow, as you can imagine, and got his way up the field and started getting wins, and has been winning for the last couple of seasons. Ooh, very wide on exit there, but it's Gilchrist, Bewley, Osborne, All West, Pitt, Allen and Penny, the top 7. Bryant in 8th, Exton 9th, and Gray rounding out the top 10. Good start by the Aussie. Oh, what a move.
So Bewley there, wow. He just ended up going a little bit wide through the carousel, just went in a bit too late, so the Southern Loop. Got in a bit wide, got stuck out into the marbles and couldn't get the car back, so that was a huge moment for him. As much as it didn't look like much on the camera, trust me, how fast it is into that section of the track,
Justin
he's
Allen,
lucky to pull that up.
Allen makes a move on All West as well. Justin Allen, definitely the complete man in the Auto Pass Napa car, but All West comes back and says, no, not this time, son. And this is a good battle between the two veterans of the field, if you will.
This will be a bit frustrating for Justin too, because he showed some real pace yesterday on Friday being fastest in 2 of the 3 practices. So he hasn't quite managed to convert that into race pace today.
Massive season for Justin Allen. He really does believe, after the season he had last year, that he can be a contender for the overall title, and he's put himself in a position this weekend to do just that. He's 3rd overall at the moment, and he'll want a big result from this feature race.
Yeah, well, as you go up over the bridge, you can see that bit of track out to the left as well. That's another little add-on.
Oh, nicely done. The 42 there, nicely done. And
that's William Exton.
Yeah, William Exton. We have hardly, we've hardly mentioned him because he's hardly been in our view so far this weekend, but that was a good move.
Yeah, he's doing a really solid job as well as a rookie. First season into cars, he's been doing a little bit of endurance stuff on the off season, but he's proving himself as well, doing a great job mixing it up in the front half of the field.
So Will Exton makes up a spot. Let's take a look again at this moment at the. This is weird. Well, it shows you what happens when you get offline. You could see he was sliding through there.
Yeah, it's just you don't realise how slippery it is out there till you get stuck out there. And Clay took full advantage of that
nice.
and slid it up the inside. But trust me, Tom's eyes would have been wide, being that wide out there.
No kidding. So then, Gilchrist doing a really good job so far of leading this race. The gap, what, 0.9 of a second, and he's not got away from Osborne, but the real battle is here! Oh, Bewley! Careful, son.
Damage.
And he has got damage, and that's right. In fact, he's got a broken suspension. He has damaged that car badly, and he is in trouble. First mistake of the weekend.
It is. First mistake for him, and well...
Oh, look, he's crabbing.
Only caught the end of it, so didn't quite see exactly what happened there or whose fault that was, but that's really, really unfortunate for him there.
And he needs to get off the line, and he needs to get off the racetrack. Well, he thinks he can get back, but it's literally crabbing because the suspension is twisted now. He heads over the bridge, and my mate Joe is doing a heck of a job today as he flies high above these 86ers, catching all the action. But poor old Tom Bewley is going to, well, I think he's going to make it back, but he needs to, too, because he wants to, he's pulling off into the gravel, and that means he's stuck in the gravel, and yes, he's done a good job. The stewards might see that as a safe place for him to park up, do you think?
Yeah, I'm not too sure there, just because of it's a very, very fast corner into that park, but he's just trying everything he can to get it back.
I'll throw some gravel out there just to annoy him some further.
Yeah, he's just trying to obviously get it back to the lane so he doesn't have to sit out there at the end of the race or cause any safety cars, but that's a huge, huge blow for him after what's been a fantastic weekend. Let's have a look at the replay.
Well, it was somewhat of an overzealous move. He was sort of in the middle of nowhere, really. He wasn't completely committed, and that led to that accident. But you've got to blame Tom for that one, I'm afraid.
Yeah, we just need to have another look at a couple of different angles here as well and see exactly what's going on, because as the rule states, you've got to have overlap at the point of braking.
Okay.
So whether or not the brake lights were on, if there's a rear shot to see, but we've got Rusty down in the pits, maybe he can give us an update.
Andrew, thank you. He's obviously just come in now, so the team are having a look at this right front. But I think the call was to try and put the car out the back. They've got a jack down here, and they're pushing it backwards now. So unfortunately for Tom, they're going to push car 4 out the back. I'll give him a moment here, guys, and we'll have a chat with him.
Well, the Duracell has come unstuck, I'm afraid. But there you go. That's racing. 1 minute you are smiling and high as the winner, and the next you're back in the pits.
Yeah, it can just change in an instant, and finishing is just so important for a long championship as well. So 75 points for a win, 0 if you don't finish. So it's huge blow. So we just got a bit of hopefully see if we can see another angle here as well. As I was saying, part of the rule which Rowan Shepherd will be looking at is you've got to make sure that you've got overlap at the point of braking. If there's overlap, then at that stage the move is on for Tom. Let's have a look, see what we can see here from the back. So it does look like he's coming in pretty late. Obviously, brake lights are already on, but pretty ambitious move from him there. And at the time as well, he was heading pretty straight towards Clay. So unfortunately for Tom, it's,
The way I look at an incident like that, self-imposed penalty.
Self-imposed penalty.
Well, and the way I look at it, if Osborne hadn't been there, he would have gone wide.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You've got to show that you're under full control at the point of contact. So, it doesn't quite look like it from that angle. But in the DSO role, you don't obviously want to jump to any conclusions, and that's where Rowan will have a look at it. But it hasn't been put under investigation. We haven't heard anything on race radio. So, on that note, I think Rowan's on the same page that it's unfortunately, not the way you want to end his race.
Well, with one man out, the real battle on track at the moment is between All West and Allen. A really, really good battle as we look at Bryant coming through. But look at this battle here. Christina All West, I describe them both as veterans, but I mean in 86 terms, because both of them have got bags of experience with this car. Let's head down to Rusty.
These are one of those difficult interviews, Jonathan. As you know, the highs and lows of motorsport, young man. You experienced it in the previous race. Just tell us, from your point of view, what happened then, what you did.
Yeah, knew I had a bit more pace than the car in front, but I went probably not the best move, but it's not ended well.
Okay, tell us about the car. How bad is it? Well, I mean, you're just having a quick look at it now. What's it like to drive, and will it be okay for the next round?
Oh, I think it'll be okay for the next round. I can't turn left, but yeah, the team will fix it and get it done for the next round.
Hard luck.
Thanks.
That's the beauty of being young. You just bounce back. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly, and he's showing a lot of composure there as well after what is a disappointing, more or less admitting that it was his fault, which pretty ambitious move, which we obviously came to the same conclusion as well. But there is a saying, got to go for the gap, but that time unfortunately it didn't work
talking
out
of
for him.
gaps, what's happened here? Flying up in the air is the dust, and I think it was the number 8 going
Thomas
on.
Mallard?
Did he get punted off Thomas Mallard, I wonder? He's certainly in the gravel. We got the end of it. Let's have a look. Andrew?
So you just see him come down into here, just a little.
Oh, yeah. So again, Andrew, I know I've asked you this before, but let's put you in Dion's position. Where in these 86ers do you make your move, and how do you go about it, given that you can't go faster necessarily than the guy in front?
So one of the good things about the racing in these 86ers is you don't have aerodynamics. You don't have all the aero that's slowing you down on the way into the through the high-speed corners. So it allows you to easily, it makes it easier to make a pass into some corners. You can see how wide the track is there in the forest, and the reason it's so wide there is the track was actually changed back in the early days. It used to be a bit of a chicane. You can see that curve a little bit further up. Used to be a bit of a chicane in there, but Tony thought, I want some more passing opportunities, so made it basically into a nice big car park out there to allow some more passing. But that's what you're really thinking about, just trying to work with that not having aero. Look at this, the battle's on, he's got him.
He's got him. Now that overtake actually took place, or started taking place, just before we joined them, but that's nicely done by Pitt. I wondered when he was going to make a try, but he's just illustrated what you can do.
Yeah, absolutely is. And really mature driving, both of these two as well. Last year they were, I was playing DSO, and there was a bit of biff and bash with these two, but the way they've both stepped it up, they're showing massive maturity this year in the way they're driving, which is fantastic to see.
Here we go, Andrew. Oh, nicely done. Over the bridge, he got very squirrely, but made it happen. Nicely done.
Convincing move. Just the way he committed to it, just turned in nice and hard, and Clay did the right thing by going back to the left to close down for the next corner.
So, the 5 of Pitt, having got past, Osborne is now trying to defend in the last lap. He goes nice and wide in the middle of the track to make sure that there's no argy-bargy, and now heading towards the bridge for the last time, but it's going to be Brock Gilchrist, no question about it. He has been superb, and if the rest of the field weren't sure whether Gilchrist was serious about building a championship, well, they can think again, because he has been absolutely picture perfect.
No better feeling than having that sort of pace. You can just look after the car there a little bit more. No need to flat shift on the gears. Just drive it how you need to look after it and still see yourself pulling away. Great feeling that is.
So then Brock Gilchrist comes to the line and celebrates what has been a superb, stress-free, as I said, weekend. The checkered flag waves for Brock Gilchrist as he takes win number 2 of the series and the perfect 3 podiums to take him home and extend his championship lead. Whoa, here we go. All West holding on. Lights or no lights. Napa know-how, but he can't get past, and All West holds him off. Nicely done. Gilchrist with the IMAC Racing Engineering car wins again ahead of Pitt in second place. Dion doing a good job for Race Lab. Osborne in third place, then All West, Allen, Exton, Gray, Penny, Bryant, and Finn in 10th position. Let's head down to Stephen with our top 3.
Clay Osborne, congratulations, P3 in the last race of the weekend. As quick as you wanted to be?
Not quite. We lacked a bit of car speed at the end of the race throughout the second half of the race, but we'll make a few tweaks before we come back to Invercargill and see what we can do from there.
Dion Pitt, congratulations, mate. If we went back to yesterday, you'd want to forget about yesterday. Suddenly you've 2 P2s, and we know you're fast. How good is it to know that you are fast?
Very good. It's just confirming confidence, like I said before, yesterday was a hard day. Tuned the car up, did what we had to with it all, and I'm driving a lot better than I was as well. So,
how much confidence you get out of the fact that the Race Lab boys tweaked the car, changed the clutch, straightened around a little bit?
Oh, massively. The car drove how I wanted to drive, and we were just in sync in one, me and the car. The Ultra Interiors Golden Homes 86 was a jet today, and I can't be more happy.
And if you talk about almost perfect weekends, it's hard not to go past 2 race wins and a podium. Brock Gilchrist, championship leader. Explain how you feel right now after that weekend.
Obviously, it's a dream weekend to start the championship. You know, 2 race wins, pole, and a third this morning in the top 10 reverse. So to win by that much as well, honestly, I'm over the moon.
Were you quite surprised at the margin?
Yeah, well, obviously I was focusing on myself throughout that race, and on that last lap crossing the line, I looked behind me and I couldn't see any cars. I was a bit surprised, so happy.
So Brock Gilchrist, definitely a man on a mission this season, but an impressive win on debut for young Tom Bewley. Next up, we head south to Taratanga. We'll see you then.